to Car Hunting Anglesey. Today I'm on this, which is my early 1950s Hercules pushbike. It's the best bicycle built today, the finest. And we're here in the middle of a small village, Hercules. This is the coffee house shop. And we're going to ride about, well, it's a couple of miles down to my native village of Rhydwyn. We're going to stop along the way to look at some interesting stuff. So, why am I doing this? So here we are coming across our first obstacle, the main road, the A525. Now here's restricted to a 30, and as you can see there's a Arrive Alive or Speed Awareness or whatever van on the side, and I don't think I'm going to be in trouble doing 5 miles an hour down the road. So after a little trip down the hill, we picked up some speed. We're going to be pulling into our first little attraction, which is an old garage on the side of the road. Okay, so our first stop is here at this old service station, which is a pretty cool old corrugated iron building. We've got all of these old signs up front here. And this is where the fuel box was at. And then inside of here, so the next little section takes us onto the perilous A5025 in a 40 mile an hour section. It's not really all that bad. The worst part about this section was how I decided to mount the curb to have a look at the road signs. Let's go. You can really see that little church spire in the very far in the distance there. That's where we're going. So now we're off down to the village of Rhydwyn. This is sort of quite a sweeping wide road, and you'll see a Range Rover come past me in a minute. That was absolutely flying. He was in a hurry to get somewhere. I stop a little bit here. This is where the official boundary for the village of Rhydwyn starts. Then as we continue onwards, we go sort of on the left, as you'll see in a minute. There's a big swamp, like sort of marshy land, and I'm struggling a little bit on this bit because it's up a hill. So we're here now just outside the village, and this is sort of the swampland. You see the forest in the distance there is the garden of the Carreg stately home. Now the reason I've pulled it over here is because there's some roadside history. It's a little old, some kind of either telecommunications or electric box, which has obviously been here disused for many years. It's been updated and made irrelevant, but you know, it's had most of the scrap taken out of it, I suspect, and the lid's gone, but that's some history there. There's a great local number plate as well, LUI4. So not much to see in this next little section, apart from a delivery van overtaking me on the rather steep hill that I really struggled on. These old single speeds weren't really built to be traversing countryside like this. It's more of a town bike, but it serves the job for me. Okay, so now I've stopped right at the centre of the village. This is where the chapel and the cemetery is. This is every British village. There it is. Over there. We'll take a little bit of a walk up here. This is the main bulk of the village. This is where sort of it was founded as Rhyd when all those years ago. And actually, well, it's quite a detail. And outside of this house here is the stream or Rhyd the village was named after. There's this footpath here. There's a reason it's there. Let's have a look. So it goes up to a farm or something up this way. But another piece of history. This is the old village water pump. This is the old filling station, which is quite special because it still has the old pump. You can also see that it definitely was a shop. It hasn't been for many years, but somewhere the shop does have. I've got a picture of the old Bedford that this shop used that has been restored to perfect condition and still has lettering for that shop. There'll probably be pictures of it on your screen right now. It's an absolutely beautiful restoration. Now we traverse through this more recent area of Rhydwen, which is called Maes Gwelfod. Most of these are sort of ex-council houses that were built not too long ago. And that then neatly leads us out of the village and up towards the pub. So you may notice here the footage is being played back as fast as it'll go, and yet I'm barely moving. There is actually a hill on this section. It's barely noticeable when you're going down it, but you absolutely feel it when you're going up. And here we are, one of the finest views from any pub in Wales. And it's a bit windy up here. So I'm recording this voiceover in post because it was brutally windy up here, and even with my windshield on the microphone you couldn't hear anything. So this is the church that gives Church Bay its name. However, what's quite interesting about it is it's not actually called Rhydwen Church, but rather Llanrhyddlad Church. Llanrhyddlad is a small village several miles down the road. Yet for some reason, this one was given its name. The reason the area is called Church Bay is because this is visible from the bay that you can see down there. Now, there's a really steep hill going down to it, so I'm going to walk the bike down. Okay, so I've just been pushing down this hill here. You can see the church and the pub at the top. And I've stopped down at this nice little spot, which is the Church Bay Well. That was a nice little lockdown project from someone. There's paintings of the bay and of the church. Yeah, really nice little finishing detail that. So now we're going to head down this way. For some unknown reason known only to the gods themselves, I decided it would be a sensible idea to take a shortcut through this part along a public footpath that I know very well gets extremely muddy. Here's the result. Well, there we are. That was a bit silly, but I made it through. Now we're in the tourist trap that is Church Bay. If you want great seafood, you can go to the Lobster Pot. If you want a scone or an ice cream, you can go to the Wavecrest Cafe. And I'll see if I can find the picture, but this place has been a holiday destination for a very long time. So when we enter the main car park and take a stroll through this little gate here, if you look, you might see a rather strange looking house. Now this is the Sutan Thatched Cottage. This place's Welsh name is Porth Sutan, named after this little cottage. It was lived in until, I believe, the 1960s, and was then it became a little bit derelict, and then it was rebuilt, and it now opens for the public during the summer. So now we're going to have a look at what people really come to Church Bay for: the beach. As we approach this sort of nice little observation area here, we can take a look out over the sea and judge how the tide is. This is one of my favourite places to come and just sit in the summer, but usually somebody else is parked there. Now you can see there's an absolutely stunning view out across the Holly Head. If you've got good binoculars, you can see a lot from here. Now, I wasn't completely crazy, so I didn't ride the bike down the slip ramp, but I did shuffle it down there, and as you come around the corner, the reveal of the view is absolutely fantastic. So here we are on Roadside on Church Bay Beach, one of the most popular beaches in Wales. In the summer, there's no room to move out here. It gets busy, mostly because it's really accessible. There's brilliant food at the Wave Crest and the lobster pot at the top. And there's a campsite that also serves food, so you can get pretty much everything you want. Now, I thought, well, I'm on the beach, may as well do a little bit of a top speed run. This wasn't exactly a land speed record breaking bike, but it was fun to tootle up and down the beach. And I can already hear the commenters crying, but it's gonna rust and the chain's gonna gum up. If you watch until the end of the video, you'll see that I deep cleaned the bike and coated it in oil and lubricated everything. So this is not going to do any damage. Annoyingly, I wasn't recording the next part where I had to go back up said steep hill that I had to walk down earlier, but I got passed by a guy on an e-bike and I'm absolutely dead, and he's just flown up the hill. Maybe there is merits to this new technology. So, I've made it back after a successful adventure. I didn't film the last little bit because obviously I don't really want people knowing where I live, and I had to switch the torch on the front of my phone really, because more so that I could be seen. Now we're going to give the bike a quick wash and put it back in the shed. Well, we're going to wash it in the shed. So there we go, we don't need to worry about this one rusting. That's given it the clean of a lifetime, that has. So yeah, I've oiled the chain, it runs smoothly. I've oiled all the bearings, and I've coated the whole bike in a slightly different oil, which is basically WD-40 but cheaper. And yeah, it's looking pretty good now. It's all shiny, and yeah, it'll live on to do other adventures. So, we've got to think now. What am I going to do next with it? Well, there's a few other little villages around here that I want to explore. And you may also notice behind me, there's a Rally Olympus, the cool bike of the early 70s. So, I've got that one as well, and there's a unicycle up there, which I can't actually ride, but there's potential for adventures with that. So absolutely we're going to be seeing some more two-wheeled adventures here on Car Hunting Anglesey. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Now there's going to be more adventures both on 2 wheels and 4 wheels in the near future on Car Hunting Anglesey. This video is more of a kit test really. So, if that's your thing, remember to subscribe, leave a comment and like. Thank you.